Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Jenna Davis about M3GAN, which is now in theaters. Welcome to the show. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
I mean, is it starting to kind of sink in that people are able to see M3GAN in theaters? Like, it's pretty crazy.
Absolutely. I kept the film a secret for a very long time, so for it to be released and out there is quite surreal, and it almost feels unreal for sure.
A question that I've been really excited to ask you is, obviously, you provide the voice of M3GAN, who is becoming kind of the talk of the town, and everyone wants to know more about this doll and everything, who, people are saying the, evil doll, but, you say, like, she's misunderstood and she's just doing her job, right?
Absolutely.
Which is awesome. So what was the process like of providing the voice for M3GAN? Was it all in studio? Did you have a chance to go to the sets at all? Like, I'm just curious about your experience working on M3GAN.
Yeah, so everything for me was in studio. So that was a challenge, but a fun challenge.
Yeah.
And it was exciting. And it was very different. I mean, off-camera acting is very different than on-camera acting in some ways. But in also other ways, it's very similar because it's just you in front of a mic.
Yeah, I know. It's so crazy and everything. It's pretty cool because people that have also, follow a lot of your past projects and everything know that you're also into music as well. You got to do that with this as well. There's some songs that M3GAN sings that will provide nightmares for some people, or some people also think it's a bop, right? Like, people think that you have elevated the song Titanium to new heights, which is amazing. Is it cool that you were able to do both for this project as well, though? Like, there's the music component of this too.
Oh, absolutely. It is so thrilling. I think being able to combine two of my biggest passions is a dream come true, for sure. And I recall when I auditioned for the project, they asked me to sing, and I was very confused because it's a robot who sings, and it's so fun and unexpected, for sure. And I think that's what makes it fun for audiences, but it's also very fun for me and myself to portray that as well. Interesting enough, for the role, I was told to sing worse than I usually do sing, and I've never been told to sing worse in my entire life. So that alone was pretty comical, but it also shows M3GAN's character and her side and her imperfections of being a robot, and I love that about her.
Well, that was my next question because, yeah, M3GAN is a robot, but she's programmed to have a lot of emotions and be kind of humanistic and everything. And one of the coolest things I feel about this project, and I really wanted to talk to you about, was there's a lot of different, it's not really a big spoiler, but like, there's a lot of tones in M3GAN's voice we're going to find out, right? There's like the nice, I'm your friend, M3GAN, but then there's the, I'm going to get you, get out of my face, M3GAN.
Yeah.
So was that kind of hard too, a little bit? Like, kind of the different tones and tonalities of the voice of M3GAN?
Sure. Early on when I received the audition and I figured out she was an AI, I thought about how AIs operate and work. And for the majority, they're very monotone. And I wanted to make sure I did not do that with M3GAN, because it would not be fun to watch something that's incredibly monotone for over an hour or even over 5 minutes. So I wanted to do something, like, as you mentioned, the tones.
Yeah.
That's very much what I did. Every aspect, every line kind of had a tone. And when it came to discussing conversations and different things with M3GAN, we wanted to make her overall fun, yes, but there was also very interclose relationships with Katie. And they had a very special relationship there that Katie obviously gets attached to in the film, but there was also an element that M3GAN provided in that way, that everything she told her was very soft-spoken. And that was one of the tones that I did. Everything was soft-spoken. Everything was, hey, we have a personal friendship connection here. You're my best friend. I can tell you anything. You can tell me anything. That was kind of the relationship there. But there's also moments where she's an AI and she spits out information that a common person wouldn't be able to just spit out in, 0.5 seconds. So that was another tone to play with, is how do I get that, I don't want to say Siri, but, about that monotone tone, but where it's also fun and exciting. But she also has very bubbly tones, but I used a method that's called flip the switch. And it's when she goes from one moment where she's incredibly bubbly and happy to another moment where she's a total unrecognizable person that's slaughtering you.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. My favorite. I guess like this is not really a spoiler because the movie's out, and for people like spoiler alert, not spoiler, but there's a line, my favorite line, and I don't even know if I have it fully, but it's the line where you show up and it's like you made her cry, and then it's like that was not my intention, and yet it's just happened. That's my favorite line of the movie.
Oh, good. I really love that you caught that and you enjoy that. That's so fun. Yeah, that's a perfect example of flipping the switch.
Yeah.
And M3GAN did that a lot, and that was really fun to play with. And creatively, when I auditioned for the project, that was kind of the choice I made very early on. And Mr. Gerard, when we had our director session and when he told me I got the part, I didn't realize I did till the end of the call. He was discussing that he really enjoyed that I did that with her. And he was just talking about making her so much fun. And I think that's why audiences are really adoring her, is because she is so fun. And she really does fit into this generation. And she does flip the switch a lot, which is unexpected. And you never really know what's coming out of her mouth next, which I think is enjoyable and exciting. But also as an actor, it was very fun to play with. It's just a lot.
The build up too of the kind of takeover of M3GAN is just fantastic in this movie too. There's this build up, and then kind of what you said about the switch and the tones and everything, where at the end of the movie it's like it's one of those like I was always the boss. I was just kind of playing like I was just helping.
Absolutely. Absolutely. She plays very who me.
Yes.
Who me? Oh, what? I didn't murder that person. What? No.
Oh wait, I did.
One of my favorite lines from the film is after she gets back from ripping off his ear and she gets asked about it. She's like, in a nutshell. Like,
yeah.
What's that?
Are you getting prepared though to do the voice a lot? Like that's gonna happen. Like your family, your friends, like you're gonna be asked a lot of times. You're probably gonna be one of the best pranksters of 2023 because you're gonna get to like prank people with a voice.
Absolutely. No, I've been asked to do it quite a bit, and it's very interesting because she's so far different from myself. And a lot of my friends have told me, oh, Jenna, like, I don't know, like if I watch this film, I don't really know if we're going to be friends anymore. Cause like, it's just weird to hear your voice coming out of that tone and to hear her do all this different type of stuff, because I think you can hear her voice a little bit in my own. I mean, obviously there's a little, it's not Jenna here, it's M3GAN, so I have to get into character in that regard, but I am getting asked to do the voice quite frequently, but it's just bizarre to hear my own voice come out of her mouth.
Yeah.
I think in the beginning, it's not anymore, but in the beginning when I was recording and hearing that, I would look back at my mom and we would just giggle because it's
at the end too, though, like in the beginning, it's very like robotronic and it's very like it's a robot, right? So there is that kind of like, I think there is that separation a little bit from Jenna Davis' voice and the robot because you're doing like the robot voice. But then like at the end of it, it's like, no, like doesn't sound like a robot. It just sounds like someone.
Just as you mentioned, she very much evolves during the film.
Yes.
Which I think is fun.
It's super cool, yeah.
Intriguing to audiences because she really does evolve, just how technology is constantly evolving.
Yeah.
She's evolving throughout this entire process. And I think that's what the film is all about, is how technology affects our daily life and how it will affect us in the future. And if something like M3GAN is happening, is it potential that it could happen like that in the future? Could a robot take over?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean,
that's the crazy thing about this film in particular, is it's something that perhaps could happen.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And what can happen is you could prank your friends and call them and just do the Titanium song and just freak the crap out of them. If we want to talk about things that could like happen next week, you're gonna do that, right? It's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, I think it'll be definitely fun to play around with. I think just come with a brainstorming of list of how I can scare my friends this year. I think that'll be fun. But
it's crazy because, this is going to be the movie that like I can't wait to see all the M3GAN Halloween costumes next year. It's going to be crazy, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think that would be really amazing. It was fun to see this past year, like even before the movie even came out, for people to be dressing up. I mean, Jason Blum came to the premiere dressed up as M3GAN.
Yeah. I know, and all the TikToks and all the dances and everything, it's just been crazy to see. It's true, all that stuff before the movie came out as well, which is crazy.
Yeah, everything before the movie. And I was pointed this out a few days ago, and it really made me think. We talked a lot about the AI portraits, and those were blowing up on TikTok and Instagram prior to the film's release. And then in the film, I'm not sure if you caught it, but when she was doing the drawing of Katie, the water tipped over, and there was an AI portrait on the paper.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and that was, and then that's almost like, it's funny. That was almost like the point of no return of the movie, where like everyone was on board to like make M3GAN like the project, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's like the point of the movie. That's, yeah, Pat, you got it.
That's the start of the end.
That is really the start of the end, for sure.
You worked on Raven's Home on Disney Channel.
Yes.
And so you kind of were familiar and saw the global kind of effect of fandom, where a lot of shows can be, loved and received from all around the world and everything. And now you're seeing that a lot with M3GAN, with the horror community and everything. Do you feel like you're prepared a little bit because of your experience with Disney Channel and Raven's Home? Because it's going to be like the horror movie fans, it's an incredible fan base, but it's a worldwide fan base, Jenna.
Yeah, and I did not realize that prior to the film.
Yeah, I know.
I did not realize how amazing and big horror culture is.
Yeah.
Just as the movie says, it's insane. Yeah. And so I just feel so grateful and honored to even be accepted and to be seen as, they're labeling her as an icon, which is, to me, I feel like fainting. It feels insane to even be acknowledged like that, because it was a bit nerve-wracking to play a role. I mean, Blumhouse, Universal, James Wan, Akilah Cooper. I mean, these are huge. Allison Williams, Viola McGraw. I mean, these are huge, amazing names. Such talented people in this industry. So to be in collaboration and affiliate with them was nerve-wracking. But I feel so honored and so thankful that people are loving her.
Yeah.
Her, because horror culture is so big, and I've had such a blast watching people's reactions on YouTube. I think that is one of my favorite pastimes, is just searching M3GAN trailer reaction and just seeing people just jump back in fear.
Well, in I think the best part is in the woods. Like, this is the part where you run. I think that gets everyone every time. You know what I mean?
I love it because she's just saying it how it is.
I know. And again, it's a lot of fun. I saw it in the movie theaters too, Jen. I have to tell you, I just had so much fun, like, all around.
Good.
And I think that's the point of movies, right? But like, it's fun to think about, like, many people, because it had an incredible opening weekend, and people that I've talked to are going to go see it this week and everything. It's cool to think about everyone being in a room watching this, everyone like going like at the same time, or like laughing at the same time. Like, it's a cool feeling, right? That they're going to do that with your movie.
Yes, I've had such a pleasure, I think, watching people's reactions at the premiere and at the screening. And actually, I went undercover to a theater the other night because my uncle's in town from Sweden and he wanted to see the film. So I went undercover, and I was like, this is so exciting. I mean, nobody in here like knows that this is me, but I'm loving it. And it was thrilling to watch people's reactions.
Sorry. No, can you imagine if you just started singing Titanium in your row or something?
It was quite comical because we were at one of those theaters that you like dine in and eat.
Yeah.
After the waiter was like, well, how'd you enjoy the movie? And I was like, and my mom goes, well, we really enjoyed it. We've seen it before because, she's the voice. And she goes, wait a second. She's like, can you talk? And she's like, oh.
No, that is that's the best. No, it's super, super cool. Before we wrap up, last question quickly. Obviously, we've talked about a lot of it. There's a lot happening. There's a lot of messages with technology. M3GAN is an icon. There's a lot of takeaways. You want to have a good time. Anything else takeaway-wise you hope people get out of watching M3GAN in the movie theaters?
I just want everyone to really have fun with it.
Yep.
I think that's as simple as it is. Going to the movies is entertainment. And this film is both horror and comedy. And I think it's great to go with your friends or your family, or I mean, talked about like go with a date. It's a great excuse to grab their arm.
Yeah.
There's so much fun. And I think it's different than you think watching the trailer. There is comical elements that you don't pick up in the trailer, and there's things that happen that don't happen in the trailer. So for the people that have seen the trailer and have not yet seen the movie, go check it out, because it takes a different turn than you think it will.
I couldn't agree more. And it's just, no, it is such a fun movie theater movie. Like, I just want to say that because it, like, I had a blast in the theater. Jenna, thank you so much for joining me on Popternative. It was so great chatting with you.
Oh my gosh, I had a blast. It was fun.
Does M3GAN want to say something about her experience on Popternative very quickly?
I think, yeah, it was nice to meet you. Thanks for hanging out.
No problem. Thank you, M3GAN. That was so weird for a second because it was like there was silence. Your Instagram account is the best way people can keep up to date with everything, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Just add Jenna Davis or just type my name in the Google search bar. A bunch of random stuff will pop up. Tap on one of those. I'm sure I'm there.
And go see M3GAN in the theaters now, right?
Absolutely.
Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Until next time, this is Jenna Davis, who is the voice of M3GAN, which is in theaters, and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.